They thought they could break you, thought they could leave you shattered, thought they could walk away and you'd never recover. They didn't just hurt you, they did everything in their power to make sure you stayed in that pain. They lied, they manipulated, they twisted every truth to make it feel like you were the problem, and for a while, you believed it. You carried that weight, that shame, that doubt. You questioned yourself, wondering if maybe, just maybe, you really were the one who deserved the pain they put you through. But now, that version of you is gone. The person who sat in silence, who took the blame, who let their words define your worth, that person no longer exists. You see, they hurt you once, but they will never hurt you again. Because this time, you're not breaking. You're not bending. You're not folding under the weight of their expectations, their guilt trips, their attempts to crawl back into your life like nothing happened. You've learned and you've grown. And now they can only watch from a distance as you step into the person you were always meant to be. They didn't expect this. They didn't think you'd rise. They thought the pain would keep you frozen, thought you'd never move on, thought they would always have a piece of you, some control, some way to pull you back in. But when you stopped reacting, when you stopped giving them access to your emotions, that's when they realized they had lost. Because people like that, they don't actually want to lose you. They just want to keep you small, keep you questioning, keep you feeling like you need them. But you don't. You never did. And now, as they sit in the mess they created, as they realize that you are no longer looking back, no longer answering, no longer available, they will understand something that they never thought possible. You are untouchable now. You are no longer that same person who gave them chance after chance. You are no longer waiting for an apology, for an explanation, for anything that would somehow make sense of what they did to you. Because you don't need it. You've given yourself closure. You've given yourself permission to move forward. And that is something they never wanted you to do. They wanted you stuck, waiting, hoping that they'd change. But you see them for who they are now. And that is why they will never hurt you again. Because they no longer have access to you, not your time, not your energy, not your heart. That is their punishment. Not because you wanted revenge, not because you sought to make them feel the pain they put you through, but because their own actions have made them irrelevant in your life. And now, while they sit in regret, while they wonder if they still have a way back in, you are already gone. You are already moving into a future where they don't exist. And that is something they will never recover from, because now they understand. They didn't just lose you, they lost the version of you that still cared, and that version is never coming back. They thought they had time, thought they could come back whenever they wanted, thought they could play their games, walk away, and return when it was convenient. But the moment they hurt you was the moment they lost you forever. At first, they didn't notice. They assumed you were just giving them space, assumed you'd reach out, assumed you'd still be there when they were ready. But days passed, then weeks, then months, and they started to feel it, your absence. Because you didn't just move on, you disappeared from their world. They still check, still look for signs that you miss them, still hope for a moment where you might crack and let them back in, but that moment will never come. Because you've learned. You've seen them for who they truly are, and now you are protecting yourself in a way they never thought you would. They will never hurt you again, not because they don't want to, not because they wouldn't try if given the chance, but because you will never give them that opportunity. You've outgrown them. You've stepped into a place where their presence, their words, their existence no longer matter. They used to take up space in your mind, in your heart, in your energy, but now they are nothing more than a shadow in your past. And that is what they can't handle. Because people like them, they don't handle silence well. They thrive on chaos, on reactions, on knowing they still have an effect on you. But when you stop responding, stop acknowledging, stop caring, that's when their world starts to crumble. At first, they will act like they don't care. They'll post as if they're happier than ever. They'll laugh louder, surround themselves with distractions, try to convince everyone, including themselves, that losing you meant nothing. But at night, when there's no one left to impress, when they're alone with their thoughts, that's when reality hits. Because now they see the truth. They weren't prepared to lose you. They weren't prepared for the finality of your absence. They thought they could come back whenever they wanted, thought they could still have a hold on you. But now you are beyond their reach. And that is something they will have to live with for the rest of their lives. Because the worst pain isn't losing someone, it's realizing that you were the reason they are gone. They thought they had control, thought they could hurt you, walk away, and still hold space in your mind. Thought you'd sit there, waiting, wondering, wishing things had gone differently. But the moment they made their choice, the moment they decided to hurt you instead of value you, was the moment they sealed their own fate. Because you don't wait for people to recognize your worth. You don't beg for love, for respect, for loyalty. You gave them a chance, gave them the benefit of the doubt, gave them more than they ever deserved, and they threw it away, believing you'd always be there. But now you are gone. And that's what they can't handle. Not just that you moved on, but that you did it without them. That their absence didn't destroy you, that you didn't break the way they expected. Instead, you grew. You thrived. You stepped into a version of yourself that no longer has space for them. They still search for signs of the old you, the one who would have let them back in, the one who would have accepted another apology, another excuse, another empty promise. But that version of you no longer exists. And now they have to live with that reality. Because they lost more than just you. They lost every future moment they could have had with you. They lost the loyalty they never appreciated. They lost the presence that once made them feel important. And worst of all, they lost the power they thought they had over you. At first, they'll act like it doesn't matter. They'll pretend they don't notice, pretend they don't care. But silence is a loud teacher, and every day that passes without you is another reminder that they made the wrong choice. They will try to replace you, try to find someone who fills the void, someone who loves them the way you did, someone who gives them what you once gave so freely. But they will fail. Because what you offered was rare. And when they realize that, when it finally hits them that they let go of something they will never find again, that's when regret will set in. They will think about reaching out. They will think about trying to fix things. They will think about all the ways they could have done better. But they won't. Because deep down, they know the truth. They lost their chance. And you are too far ahead for them to ever catch up. They'll sit in silence, replaying every moment they thought they had control. Every time they walked away, thinking they could come back. Every time they hurt you, assuming you'd always forgive. They thought they had time, thought they had a grip on your emotions, thought they could bend you without breaking you. But now they realize the truth. You're gone. And this time, it's not temporary. At first, they'll try to distract themselves. They'll throw themselves into other people, other conversations, other temporary fixes. But no matter how much they try to replace you, they won't find another you. Because you weren't just someone who passed through their life. You weren't just a moment, just an option, just a convenience. You were their blessing. And they didn't just lose you, they threw you away. And now That mistake will follow them. They will hear your name and feel the weight of what they lost. They will see your success and realize they were never a part of it. They will look for you in places where you no longer exist. And they will regret. Not just because you moved on, not just because you became stronger, but because you did it without them. They will wonder what they could have done differently. If they could have fixed it, if they could have held on just a little longer. But the answer? Number. Because this was never about what they could do now. It was always about what they should have done then and now. Now, they have to watch as you rise, knowing that they will never be a part of your future, knowing that their actions wrote them out of your story, knowing that no matter how much time passes, they lost their place in your life for good.